I just finished a round of Frontier Defense in Titanfall 2, which is the game's Horde mode, the PvE co-op mode. And the game is pretty old now, you could say. Yeah. But there are still people playing this game. PvP and PvE. I just played that PvE mode because I wanted to get away from the sweat. To get away from the saltiness that we have in modern shooters. Before Titanfall yesterday, I was playing a round of Counter-Strike. And I was thinking to myself, why am I even getting into this competition? Why? I used to be a casual gamer. When I would play with my boys back then in school, we would hop on some Call of Duty, but it didn't feel like this esports thing. I mean, even if you try to play normally today, you kind of want to perform, you push yourself. And I was like, that is not kind of the experience I want to have. Because there is always going to be somebody who's like that's better than you, you know? You cannot catch up to these kids nowadays. And I was like, oh, co-op shooter is just more something that I would like. And I was playing a lot of Deep Rock Galactic, Rock and Stone, you know? And then I discovered this gem. Because I remembered that I used to be at the point in my life where I was thinking the exact same thing. And I would go back into Titanfall 2, into the Frontier Defense Mode, and just get into the queue. I just didn't expect there would be still people playing. I mean, I can find a match really fast. So I queued up yesterday, which is the gameplay that you see in the back, and I had a lot of fun. It's like the PvP multiplayer online scene nowadays. It feels more like sports. I mean, I have to make an exception because I'm playing the finals a lot because I really do like that shooter. But other than that, I'm just kind of burned out of competing all the time. It just feels like a zero-sum game. You know, competing there. Like, yes, it is of course a PvP game, but the sense of achievement for me is just more short-lived. In a PvE game mode, when we conquer a level, yeah, you know, on a hard difficulty, in this PvE mode, I have more this feeling like, even if it's just with randoms, like, oh, I did something with the boys now. Yeah, we achieved something. We managed to do this. In PvP, I'm blaming myself for not playing better. I'm blaming my teammates for not playing better. I'm blaming the enemy squad for being such sweats. But at the end of the day, you know, I have to take some accountability here. You know, I'm playing a PvP game. What do I expect, you know? That's what I signed up for, you know? But maybe I'm just not the type for that anymore. Again, I'm enjoying the finals, you know? But... And I used to enjoy some Call of Duty hardcore mode, but somehow that game doesn't work, you know? Paid $70, you know, and the game refuses to build up a connection. And somehow the older games, they work without a problem, you know? But what actually makes the difference here? Why is it that I'm feeling so connected to Titanfall 2 and especially its Frontier Defense Mode? Well, first of all, it is the setting. I played the campaign of Titanfall 2 and I loved it. I loved it. And somehow I really enjoyed the lore. I'm gonna be bold now and say it reminds me somehow of Star Wars kind of lore. I don't know, the feeling of the lore. It goes in that direction. I'm a Star Wars fan, you know, but that lore of Titanfall 2, it really caught me. It really did. And the connection that you build up with your Titan, you know, you are the pilot that has this connection to your Titan. That just gave the story something, I don't know, like emotion, you know, like movement, connection. That is what I really liked about the story. And you carry on that story into the multiplayer. That's how it used to be even back then with all the Call of Duties. But let's not talk about campaigns in new Call of Duties. Let's not even go there, yeah? We all know how it is right now. The next is the cinematic action you have. The game looks really good for being that old. What was it, like 2017 or 19, 16? I'm not even sure no more. But it's older, yeah. But it looks so good still. It looks really good. And the movement, I mean, back then it used to be something really new. And nowadays I think something like Call of Duty tries to maybe copy that. I'm not sure. But I never enjoyed the jumping around in the Black Ops series, you know. But I enjoy Titanfall. It feels very athletic. Another point would be that there's no battle pass. There is no... Well, there are microtransactions, but they're not necessary. You don't even see them, actually. There are some what is it, Prime Titan skins? But yeah, they're not like in your face. Nothing of that is in your face. Why I keep coming back to Titanfall 2 and especially the Frontier Defense Mode is because it is just fun. The gameplay is fun. That's it. That's why I keep coming back. And I think that is something that we tend to forget a little bit. I made a video about this, about intrinsic and extrinsic motivation in video games, where I go deeper into this, but that is exactly a part of it. That's Titanfall 2. Like, the game is just fun for me. And another point is that in 2026, people still play this game. The queue time is like, it was maximum like a minute, but until I was in the game. So that's not just the queue time. And that kind of showed me how great a game can be, and why I'm wondering, why are they not making this? Why is there no Titanfall 3 if Titanfall 2 still holds up? Of course there's Apex Legends now, but why can't we have a Titanfall 3? And especially with this Frontier Defense Mode. I also love the PvP, don't get me wrong, but the PvE mode is just, yeah, let's get something done with the boys. I don't know the guys and gals on the other end, you know, but we're gonna get it done. We're gonna beat this level, you know, or we're gonna try to, you know. And that is just a feeling I rarely get. Generally, like PvE shooters and online co-op shooters, they're rarely. And especially, there are not a lot that work pretty good. I have a new rig. I have a totally new PC. Everything by AMD. It was pretty expensive. And somehow, Helldivers crashes my whole PC. Then Darktide has like a lot of FPS, but unstable. The same with Space Marine 2. And I'm like, what is left then? There are these like little games like Abysses. Then what was it? Space Jump, or what was its name? And of course the big one, Deep Rock Galactic. But it's like a niche actually in gaming, right? This PvE focused style. I think it's like a niche. It's not that popular actually. I kind of Helldivers 2 brought it on the map, yes, but before that, I think it was kind of optional, not a big focus. Of course, we had back then, when I'm remembering that correctly, Modern Warfare 3 had this wave survival mode, which I would just grind with the boys back then. But somehow that got lost. Everything got more heated, more competition. I have to be better than everybody else. Why are we not working together more? Why do we keep playing these zero-sum games and rage quit? You know, it just somehow doesn't make sense. And I was thinking about this a lot. And Titanfall 2 with this PvE mode, with this Horde mode. Oh, another example is Gears 5, the Horde mode. I actually enjoyed that really much. I really like that mode. Yeah, I'm probably gonna jump back into these PvE shooters because I still like to have action. I just don't like to compete with people that have more time than me and are just better, and I don't like losing. But you have to see it realistically. When I come home from work, I'm a factory worker, you know. I don't want to sweat. I want to have a good feeling. And for this grind, because most games nowadays, they are skill-based matchmaking, right? So the only chance you have is invest more time and get better, but you kind of drain yourself with that. Of course, a chill round of Call of Duty hardcore, it never hurt me, you know. But hardcore it's like a different mode in itself, because it's not about how good you can aim, kind of. It's more like who shoots first, which kind of takes away this being good, I think. You just have to be more aware. And I'm missing the casual side of shooting games. And that's where Titanfall 2 catched me. Where these PvE shooters catch me. And that's why I will continue to play them. I'm kind of dropping this PvE stuff, PvP stuff. I don't like playing zero-sum games anymore. I want to achieve something with people I play together, instead of defeating them all the time. But I do understand, don't get me wrong, that PvP shooters definitely have a catch, you know, competing with other people. I get that, I totally get that. But it's the same with when I was doing kickboxing. Like, if I'm not good at it, why even compete? Because you're always gonna get your ass beaten, you know? You know, then I'm not even gonna compete in the first place if I'm not intending to become good at it, you know? And that's the same that's the same way I see PvP games. If you don't intend to become good, why even play it? Because, like I said, nowadays, the PvP, the sweat, the salt, it's much bigger than back then. And that's why I enjoy PvE shooters so much. Yeah, I just wanted to get this off my heart, guys. And are these PvE shooters here to stay? Are they gonna disappear? I hope not, because I really do like them. They have lower player numbers, but I really do love these kind of games where you still have action, but you actually work together in a team. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below about this whole topic. It would be really interesting to see different views about that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you did. Peace.